What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tackett's House of Horsepower. It's me, Steve Tackett, and I think this week we should just go ahead and put an engine in there. And by engine, I mean the 406, of course. Did you watch the videos on this? Where we had oil pressure problems. We took it out of the blue wagon, took it all apart, figured out what was going on with it, put it all back together, switched it over to a roller cam. You know, there's videos on this engine. Hopefully you watched them. If you did, that's awesome. If you didn't, you can go back and look at them. Okay. There's one issue though. I want to pull the intake manifold on it. I want to check the gaskets. I think it has a massive vacuum leak, so I want to check out the intake manifold gaskets, and then we can drop it in. We got fenderwell headers. Those are already clearanced. Hopefully the hole's big enough. We're gonna find out. If you watched the last video, I welded all that up, deleted the heater box, welded that up, cut those out. So now I need to finish cleaning. I'm gonna clean the rest of this, and then we'll paint it so it matches, you know. And let's see, I gotta put my frame mounts in. I gotta put my gas pedal linkage in. I've also got a few missing hardware in the core support, so we got to fix that, and then we should be ready to drop that 406 into here. So let's get started. They're on guard, huh? I got workers working in the front yard, so you know, I have to be protected at all times. So let's hit this with some degreaser and clean this up a little bit, and then we'll hose it down and let it dry. And while that's drying, I guess I can start pulling the intake manifold off. So that's the plan. How about that? But yeah, we got workers in the yard. We're getting high-speed internet. Fiber optics. All right, now we just gotta let it dry. And then we'll hit it with a coat of paint, put the engine mounts in it, and I think we're ready. Well, almost. the car is almost ready. Now I got to look at this intake manifold situation. Okay, while that's drying, we're gonna come over here and just, like I said, the video of me running this engine, I never did get it tuned right. I couldn't get it to idle. It was acting like a vacuum leak, bad. So I'm gonna just double check it because my brain won't let me sleep at night if I don't. And it's a whole lot easier to check it now than after it's in the car. So I'm gonna spin this around, put it on top dead center, yank the distributor, pull this intake manifold. I've got some new gaskets. We're just gonna double check everything and put it back together probably. Hopefully we find the problem. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But I might as well do it now, like I said, before I put it in the car. Otherwise, it's just gonna eat at me and eat at me and eat at me. It has to be 100% perfect before I'm happy, you know, installing it. So I'm just gonna double check it and see where we're at. We'll take a look. The gasket is wet. There's oil on it. I don't know if you can see it because my camera sucks, but it's oily on the inside. I don't know. There's definitely oil. See it? On the inside of the gasket. So I don't think it was sealing. So I don't know. These are also 1206 gaskets. Maybe I should step down to a 1205 gasket. I'm gonna do that. I've got a set of 1205s up there. I'm gonna do that. See what happens. All right, I got everything cleaned up. And to me, I dug through my gaskets and I've got a set of 1205s and a set of 1206s. And to me, the 1205 is just a little bit small. It's hanging over on the top, on the bottom, in the middle. The 1205 doesn't fit very good either. But when I go to the 1206, it's quite a bit bigger. But at least it doesn't hang over. So I think I'm gonna try the 1206s again. I don't know. I need like a 1205 and a half. Okay, that's back together. So I went with the 1206s and I put the tiniest little, tiny little paper thin layer of silicone around the ports, like around where the ports go to the cylinder head. So hopefully that's gonna seal up. Now let's roll this in here at least halfway, because this stupid tree right now is dropping these little yellow flowers everywhere. And as soon as I start painting, I'm gonna end up with yellow flowers in this thing. See them? So, I don't know. It's that time of year, I guess. So, I'm gonna blow them off and then we'll roll it up here a little bit and see if I can't start throwing some paint at it. Well, I got sidetracked. I pulled the whole grill in and everything and headlight buckets out because I wanted to paint behind it, but it was missing half its bolts and hardware and everything was wrong. So, anyways, I took the grill out, took the headlight buckets out, put the hardware in that I'm missing up here, took the battery tray out. So now I can paint behind everything and I can fix it correctly. It's kind of bent, and like I said, it's missing almost all the hardware that was holding it in. So I'll fix it correctly, but for now I can start shooting some paint in here and hopefully get at least one coat on the whole thing and let it dry. All right, rattle can magic. We got a full coat on it. It looks like it's gonna be all right. I would have done two, but I don't have enough paint. So anyways, we'll let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna put that in that. Well, good morning. I'm back. Did you sleep good? Good. All right, good. Okay, I got a 406 right there, and I got a 65 Nova over here. So let's put that over here. Sounds good for today. The paint's all dry, so I won't have to worry about getting fingerprints in it. Let's pull this tape off, and then I'll show you how I drop these motors in. If you've got a stock front end with the stock steering, and you've got one of these rear sump oil pans with the big old notch in it like that, you got to move that steering out of the way. I'll show you how I do it. And I'll probably throw the gas pedal linkage in now, so it's because it's easy to get to now. When the engine's in, that's going to be behind the cylinder head, so it's kind of a pain to reach. So I'll probably put that gas pedal in first, and then we'll move all this junk and get that out of there. Sound good? All right, well, that turned into quite a job. I noticed when I was going to put the arm on that I was missing the little sleeve inside there. There's a little nylon bushing in there. Turns out it was smashed. The little tube was smashed. I've got a bushing, I went and put it in there and it wouldn't fit. So then I took the bracket off and had to straighten out the tube, get it to fit the bushing. Then I could put the rod back in it. Then I could put the lever on it. So good thing I noticed it now, because trying to fix that after the engine in is going to be a pain. All right, so now let's get the car slightly off the ground. I just want to get the front tires off the ground a little bit, and we'll get the steering arm out of the way, the steering center link out of the way, and then it's time for the magic. All right, so here's the easiest way I know how to do this. Get the front end off the ground just a little bit. I know, thanks, Oliver. Okay, then we got to get the steering out of the way. The best way to do that, some people disassemble it, then you got to take the cotter pins out, take the castle nuts off, then you got to split all these joints with a pickle fork, and then you're probably gonna damage half of the boots, are gonna get ripped, and then you're gonna break half the clips and whatever, the cotter pins, whatever. Don't do all that. Over here on the idler side, it bolts to the frame with like 4 bolts. So take those off. There's like 4 little 5/16 bolts right there. Take those off, and then you can kind of just cattywampusy kind of spin this down and over and kick the 2 tires in. You know what I mean? So they're pointed out, I guess, in the front. And that'll drop this arm down, and you can kind of spin it towards the front. So it's gonna look all weird for a minute, but trust me, once you set the engine in, you can kind of loop this guy back in, get it into the oil pan notch, and then bolt it back up on the side over here. I'll show you. So you end up with something kind of like this. Kind of cattywampusy, you know what I mean? Now, this oil pan, I've talked about it before, where I like the ones that flare out on the sides because it gives you more ground clearance. But this one does give you a little bit more difficulty when you do this. So when I set the engine in there, that oil pan, being that it's wider, it is a little bit more difficult to swing this guy back up into position around those edge. It's going to catch the corner of the oil pan over here on this side. So it is kind of difficult. Sometimes you got to finagle it, turn the steering wheel all the way to one side, get you as much clearance as you can to get it into, that's got to go into that slot. So I think this will work. Let's give it a try. It should drop right in. It should be easy. It should be easy. All right, let's do this. You hang out right there, okay? All right, brought you in a little closer so you can keep an eye on the paint. Don't let the paint get scratched. Okay. I'm also worried about the distributor. I don't want the distributor to hit the back of the break the distributor cap. But let's try it. It's going down. It's going down. Keep an eye on it. Okay. I said keep an eye on it. God, look at what you did. I probably should have took the distributor cap off, but we're not gonna worry about that now. Okay. We're past that now. Okay. It's a Nova, so it's a tight fit. It ain't a Chevy, that's for sure. Whoa, whoa. That's close, real close. I can almost put a bolt in that. This is what I'm aiming for. We're close. I just gotta to the side a little bit, and then maybe I get the bolts in it. Sometimes if you get it close, you can use a punch or a drift to kind of, you know what I mean, stick it in there if you can grab it. If you think you're close, well, let's see here. Get it kind of lined up a little bit. I'd say we're close. Let's see on the other side. This side will be fine. Let's see if I can get one bolt in it. It's also starting to warm up here in Phoenix. It's getting a little warm. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, okay? Well, it's close. Okay. This side needs to what? Come up a little bit, maybe. All right, that one is in, and I just spun the nut on there finger tight. Now, it looks like this side, of course, has the fuel pump in the way, but it needs to come up. No big deal, we'll get it. Okay, both bolts are in. Full disclosure, do the harder side first. I took that bolt out. I'll put this one in first because this side has the starter and the fuel pump on it. So take that bolt out, put that one in first. Then you can finagle this side a whole lot easier with your punches and pry bars and whatever you need. Okay, so little tip there. So we are on the engine mounts. Bolts are in, so we're good. Now let's try and get the steering hook back up, and then we can set it back on the ground. All right, now comes the moment of truth. Now, like I said, normally I cut this hole a little bit bigger and I move these brake lines, but we're gonna try and see if these headers fit. If they fit, then great. We're gonna be in there. A lot of people see these headers and they go, oh man, those things look like they'd be a pain in the you-know-what. But watch this. You'd think these things would be hard, but watch this. Assuming that the hole's big enough. Check that out. Check that out. Check that out. Come on, how easy is that? Don't you wish all headers were that easy? I mean, normally you'd have to take the starter off, take the spark plugs out, lift the car way up in the air, try to get it straight up and then in. These you just kind of twist and drop. Boom, done. Look at that. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I really wish all headers were that easy. Okay, I got that side tight. I like it. Let's see if I can pull that trick off twice. I didn't even take out the dipstick tube. The dipstick tube is still there. I didn't even take that out. How cool is that? I mean, it doesn't get much easier than this. Oh, I might have spoke too soon. This one hits. This one hits. Oh no. It hits this, I didn't cut that panel down far enough. I knew it. I knew it. It needs to come down just a little bit more. Dang it. I spoke too soon. That happens. Yeah, it's definitely hitting. Man. All right, I'll have to do some cutting. So here's what it's hitting. So the brake lines they're in the stock location. They pass through this panel right here. Now the header's hitting like right here. So what I want to do is come down and cut it over, like straight over here. I'm gonna take it down about 1 inch. I think I can leave the brake line where it's at. It seems to be hitting like right here. So let me do a little bit of surgery. It's nothing a grinder can't fix, okay? We just do a little cutting. There you go, okay? And of course, I put valve covers on it and covered it with a blanket. Okay, I believe the surgery was a success. The patient's doing well. Let's see if I can redeem myself from what I was saying earlier about how great these headers are. Oh yeah. Oh, it's like a glove. Get some bolts in it. There's one. There's two. Look at that. I mean, come on. Like I was saying earlier, these are the easiest headers ever. I didn't have to take the oil filter off. I didn't have to take out the spark plugs or the oil dipstick tube. Nothing. Just drops right in. All right, I got it back down on the ground. Headers are all tightened up. Looks pretty good. I like it. Now I think I just need to put the valve covers on it and the carburetor on it, and that's about as far as I could probably go today. All right, check it out. She's on the ground. She's looking kind of mean. Valve covers are on it, carburetor's on it. I'm happy with everything except for one problem I see. If you look down here at the fuel pump, I don't like the way that inlet is like basically pointed straight at the wall. See it back there? So I think the fuel pump, I need to disassemble it and maybe change the clock position, swing those fittings out to the front maybe. That might do it, because there's no way I'm going to get from that hose back there and be able to get a fitting on that nipple back there. So other than that, which whatever, hopefully that's a simple fix. Disassemble the pump, spin it, put it back together. Other than that, I guess I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good. Check out the ground clearance. That's the oil pan you want right there. Looks pretty good. Well, I guess I can go ahead and clean up now. All right, well, there you go. I'm a little bit dirty laying on the ground, but we got pretty far with it. I think it's home. The 406 is in its new home. So I got a lot of stuff to do still though, a lot of plumbing, radiator needs to go in. I ordered all the electrical wiring harnesses from basically front bumper to rear bumper. Ordered all of them. They're on the way. Waiting on a transmission. Never, ever, ever tell a transmission guy, take your time, no rush. Never do that. Never do that. Sorry, Justin, I'm just playing. But as soon as I get a transmission, tranny can go in, cross member could go in, drive shaft could go in. I got exhaust pipes that could go in. I got a gas tank I can put in, hook all that up, hook the plumbing up, put those wiring harnesses in, hit the key. This thing should ready to go. I need to pull the rear end out of it. I want to get it rebuilt. I want to put a set of gears and posi in it. That's probably the last big expense before the thing is roadworthy. What do you think about those headers, huh? Pretty sweet. They look good. They look kind of mean, and they drop right in. They're easy. So the thing is, you got to have skinny front tires. I forgot to mention that. Skinny front tires. Otherwise, they rub. They do rub on the headers. So put skinnies on it. Anyways, I just want to say thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe, tell some friends, hit that thumbs up, whatever. It helps me a lot. I appreciate it. Till next time, see ya.